Let me start by asking you a couple questions. Is the Book of Mormon true or fictitious? Should you read it? How many people do you think have read the Bible? It's the most widely read book in history, and it's had a profound impact on people all over the world. But how many people have read other popular books? Let's break it down. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling, over 120 million copies sold. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, over 150 million copies sold. The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, over 140 million copies sold. Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes, over 500 million copies sold. The Bible, over 5 billion copies distributed worldwide. Now let me ask you, can you guess how many people have read the Book of Mormon? Ready? Over 150 million people worldwide have read or heard the Book of Mormon. Over 190 million copies have been produced, including over 110 language translations. But here's the kicker. How many of those 150 million people have read the Book of Mormon more than once? This book isn't just a one-time read. People around the world come back to it over and over, year after year, because of its power and depth. It's been published in over 110 languages and continues to change lives. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The Bible has been read by billions of people, but why do so many return to it? Because it holds answers, it holds truth, and it leads to greater understanding. The Book of Mormon isn't just another book on the shelf. It's been read, reread, and studied by millions of people who have found the same impact answers to life's deepest questions, a clearer understanding of Jesus Christ, and a closer connection to God. Now think about this for a moment. What if the Book of Mormon is true? What if it is another testament of Jesus Christ? A second book that can help us know God's will more fully, that can lead us to Christ in even greater depth. It's a treasure waiting to be unlocked, and millions have unlocked its truth. The only question is, will you? You might be asking yourself, but it's fictitious, right? It's just a made-up story. But think about it. How many of the greatest, most beloved books of all time are also works of fiction? The Chronicles of Narnia, fiction. The Hobbit, fiction. Harry Potter, fiction. The Lord of the Rings, fiction. Yet these books have shaped our world. They've inspired millions, and they've impacted lives in ways no one ever expected. Why? Because sometimes fiction can teach us profound truths. Sometimes a well-crafted story can reveal something deeper about the human experience, about love, about sacrifice, about truth. So why do so many dismiss the Book of Mormon just because it's fictitious? Just because it's different? It's time to stop making excuses. If the Book of Mormon is true, it holds the potential to change your life. The very thing you're avoiding could be the greatest book you ever read, just like the greatest works of fiction have been for countless people around the world. The Book of Mormon is not just another book to put on a shelf. It is one of the most impactful and life-changing books ever published, just like the Bible, just like Don Quixote, just like the Lord of the Rings. People don't stop reading great books, they come back to them, and millions of people return to the Book of Mormon because they find in it something powerful, something eternal. What are you waiting for? Stop making excuses. You've seen how many people have read the Bible. You've seen how many have read other books that have shaped the world. Now it's time to read the Book of Mormon for yourself. Don't let the excuses stop you. You owe it to yourself to see if it's true. It's not just another book. It's a book that has touched lives for generations. Don't ignore it any longer. Read it, study it, and let it guide you to a deeper understanding of Christ and God's plan for you. Don't put it off. Read the Book of Mormon today. If you think it's fictitious, then it's still an incredible story and one that complements the Bible beautifully. It truly is another testament of Jesus Christ. But let's be honest, I can't prove its truth to you, can I? No matter what I say, you might not believe me. You've likely already made up your mind. But what do you really have to lose? Why not read it like you would any of the great works of literature? Don't avoid it because you're worried. It might require you to reconsider your life or your beliefs. After all, if you've already decided it's not true, there's no risk in reading it, right? Here's the challenge. Read the book, take the time, and see for yourself. If it is true, the Spirit will testify of its truth to you, and that might change everything. But even if you don't believe, you'll still have read one of the most widely read books in history, with over 150 million readers. At the very least, you'll have experienced a book that millions consider life-changing. Don't let fear or assumptions hold you back. Read the Book of Mormon today and see what it holds for you.